is. That's all it is to it. They're incredibly confident in it. And in their own region, every time they picked out that brand, it turned out to be a win for them. Or at least they were just super confident. I think there was one game where it did not turn out to be a win during the regular season, but we don't have to remember that game.
No, we only remember the good things here at the IWCQ. We see the rest of the bands were Talia, Gangplank on the side of Saigon Jokers, Siva, Karma, and Na for Albus NoX. So don't want that pesky Na up in the top lane. And Karma's kind of resurging right now as a very prominent mid laner and support, but Jokers will be getting themselves that early Vladimir. And hovering the Jhin, we kind of had a chat earlier about just how well the brand and the Jhin do together in lane, kind of this burning bot lane, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. So not only do you get the initial burn from Band and Bard, literally the wrong placement of the R every time. But yeah, Brand, of course, he gets his burn on Pillar of Flame, and then the initial burn from it on top of the Deathfire touch burn from it means that really Jhin can just put down his W at any point, and that's just a stun from that point forward. So we saw it when Chiefs were playing against the Albus NoX Luna. It was really punishing. But yeah, as I said, the only time we saw Brand really losing out for Albus NoX Luna was when they played up against Na'Vi in their own region. And so that's pretty scary, seeing how successful it is for them.
That's exactly right. They pick up that Jhin. It's been a very high priority champion for them. And Miracle, I can't even remember if he's played anything else this tournament so far, so definitely a favorite of his. Also that Shen up in the top. We saw Shen last game just working wonders, negating any of that cheeky split push potential. And considering that's what took down Albus NoX last time, they're already putting the Band-Aids into work.
Yeah, exactly. And so with the bans that we've been seeing, Sivir, Karma, and Gnar, 100% Shen is going to be a major priority, and that Jhin. They're a team that, of course, they're not really looking to prioritize Ashe because of the reasons we've stated. So this is a decent amount of protection, decent amount of just engage. A lot of engage coming out of that ulti curtain calls on Jhin.
Getting themselves the Graves actually in the jungle here. So quite a strange choice when both Gragas and Rek'Sai were open, and also getting that Echo for the top lane. We've seen when an Echo can get ahead, he's one of the stickiest champions in the game. Impossible to outrun, impossible to get away from. And then you think, maybe I'll just kill him, and he's impossible to kill too, Raz.
It's really surprising to see that Graves. Of course, I'm not going to question Hanyan because he's probably been the best performing player on his team so far. His early pressure has always been spot on. His team fighting has been excellent. Problem is just a lot of individualism in these team fights where they don't really work well as a team, where Row dives in too deep. Their bottom lane is not really following up all too well. So if they can actually work on that, or just get the skirmishes, the small 3v3 skirmishes that they really thrive on, then that's going to be something we can see. Especially since Warzone gets his Vlad again, and Echo for Row.
So if they go with this Ezreal and Alistar in the bot, just hovering it right now. But of course, on the side of Albus NoX Luna, they picked up that Malzahar in the mid and the Rek'Sai jungle. We saw Revolta just play a disgusting, revolting Rek'Sai earlier on. So now they have that Malzahar, pretty much the point and click 3-second snare. Suppress.
But you know what's the best? They've
you
literally... thank you. I'm already flustered. Yeah, I can't even finish my statement.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
But the last pick... There we go. As I said...
Easy. Insta-lock.
I'm telling you.
It's open. They pick it. They win.
I was about to point it out that they were legitimately waiting on their support last pick. They felt there was so much value that why not just allow Saigon Jokers to pick themselves into a ditch? Because if you are... especially if you don't know which support you're going into, you really can't be comfortable with any sense of sort of pick. So they just went for a blind pick Alistar and a blind pick Ezreal. And so you know what's the best into that? Apparently Brand.
Well, this is the thing. VODS and I had a quite in-depth discussion after we first saw the Brand, and we thought, okay, maybe it's just their way of dealing with ranged AP support. So like, we're just going to out-damage you, but it seems he just picks it into anything. So getting into that Alistar, but we will be seeing your title fight of the night, Hanyan versus PvP Stages. We've got Graves, interesting pick, going up against the Rek'Sai. So he's really going to have to make this kind of cigar-toting, shotgun-wielding, badass work in the jungle.
Yeah. See, I'm already hyped just because you hyped it up. Really well done there. But yeah, Graves, you can see the worst in Graves and the best in Graves.
Yeah.
Where he's either farming up while his team just falls around him, or he's just smacking everybody. Not even smacking, he doesn't smack anybody. He just blasts them with his shotgun. Maybe even just
turns them into gibs.
yeah. I don't even know what a gib is, and I'm gonna agree with you. This is when I know I'm uncultured in the land that I live in. It's but yeah, he's gonna smack him.
Look, I'm really excited. Shotgun. I'm really excited for this game. We got Saigon Jokers taking on Albus NoX Luna. They've got themselves the brand and the Jin. It already looked like everything's going in their favor. So Saigon, they're really going to have to come up with something. They're going to have to come up with a plan. This Graves is going to have to get massive if they want a chance at taking out this game from the champs.
Yeah, exactly. And it looks like it's just going to be a full-on teamfight focus. Now, they have nice pushing lanes for them. Vladimir is going to end up shoving into Malzahar up against perhaps level 4, level 6, when Malzahar can actually just clear out one minion with his E. Then it'll just snowball into a point where Vladimir just gets shoved in forever. So Warzone's better make use of his initial shove. And of course, Echo is going to shove into everybody, even though this is a bad matchup for him.
Are we seeing a lane swap, Raz?
Oh my god, are we seeing a
lane swap?
Are we seeing a
lane swap, Raz?
What is happening?
Oh. Look at the death by his touch as well.
Yeah, so they definitely don't want to get into the standard lane matchup against a Miracle. This lane swap could 100% work.
Okay.
This could just be a shove into tower and a defense. Because think of it this way.
All right.
If they end up defending top bot lane tower with row with three men, then they can defend a shove and a push and actually secure a tower, or just make it so there's no towers dropping at all. And Albus NoX Luna will not know this is happening. Well, now they know this is happening.
So it's been a long time since, well, not a long time, but it's been a while since the new patch, since we've seen a lane swap here. So Raz, kind of fill us in. Why would you not want a lane swap in this current meta?
So one big point, of course, if you do find yourself in a lane swap, it's very damaging once the first tower is going to take him down. The first tower gold means quite a bit. And when I mean quite a bit, I mean 700 damn gold, quite a bit.
Yeah, dude.
But what right now Ezreal is doing, he actually froze that wave. He pulled the first wave coming into the tower. So as I said, it looks like it's going to be a defense on tower. Well, Alistar is going to back away. Graves is going to do the same. All right, you know what?
Licorice forces a ghost out early onto Warzone, but we've heard all the reasons why you shouldn't do a lane swap.
So they're doing it.
So why should you do a lane swap?
This is exactly why. So they wanted to back away from the matchup entirely. Brandon Jin is too damn powerful. So it looks like what's going to happen now that it's nearing the 3-minute mark when the wave is about to crash onto this turret. They're going to be 3-man strong. They're going to take that lane. This is really... You know what's really funny? For the longest time, a lot of people are saying you cannot do a lane swap, cannot do it. This was the only... And I've been the one saying that, no, you can. In this very specific circumstance. Very specific, because a lot of the times you just lose too much based off the fact that the jungler, or at least the top laner, is going to be level 1. Now, he did get level 2 on this wave that did crash in, so it's not going to be as impactful, not going to be as bad. Oh my god.
He accidentally auto-attacks the minion, though, so Celebrity gets to live another day.
Okay, so one of the benefits of being able to do this is that Celebrity should shove out and harass Smurf. Unfortunately, he found himself getting taunted up and just getting smacked. So he didn't die, but now Smurf is able to farm up quite well for himself, which really should not have happened at all. So this is going to be a really interesting position. Hanyan, now that he did repel this bottom lane shove.
He's not even jungling at this stage, Raz. He's just laning.
Well,
he's just laning Graves.
Well, this is a bad decision from Saigon Jokers. They've actually should have held Alistar into this bottom lane, so it would have been a hybrid lane. So Hanyan can then decide to then take camps going topside. But unfortunately, now Alistar is going topside.
Why?
And then Graves is just consistently wave clearing and taking experience away from Row.
I felt like you were saying that this is a great thing. They know what they're doing. They're avoiding this. And now it just seems like they have no idea what they're doing.
Well, I mean, at the very least, they're farming up quite well for themselves.
True.
So they've completely avoided the disaster that is Brand and Jin. So now they're deciding to just take the 2v1, take the same lanes. Question is, what is ANX going to be looking to do now that the dual lane is firmly up in this top side? what they should do is to shove this lane out quickly and then re-swap once again. Now the ANX are looking to take the lane. They're not sure yet because they are in fog of war, or at least, yeah, exactly, they're in fog of war. So they're not sure if ANX is looking to take the standard lanes, but they should be aware of this.
So essentially, Saigon Jokers just have to keep running away from this bot lane.
Yeah, exactly.
They are not confident in it in the slightest bit and want to avoid it at all costs here. And who can blame them? Lecrit, like this, essentially they let him have the brand and then ran for the hills. And we'll be swapping Ezreal back down to the bot here. Shen making his way down also should be able to catch this wave. But Su only level 2. Lecrit, he's been in lane the whole time, so he's level 3. Not that drastic, but we'll be hitting level 4 quite soon.
Exactly. So this is a really good smart start from them. They were aware that the ANX team are just shoving and rotating. So they ended up shoving that wave and coming down bot. And on top of that, the best thing about this, Ezreal gets his tier. And so not only does he get his tier and he escapes this lane, but he's able to get it, which usually should take a long time. So the 5-minute tier coming out of Ezreal means that he's going to have, oh no.
And that's what they're trying to avoid, Raz. That is why they ran away from this lane. Pretty much taking away 80% of his health. And now you can see Stehos. He's up in the top and trying to chunk down this tower as much as they can. But Hanyan forced once again to be in lane. Good stun onto Stehos. Gets him quite low. And tower shot onto Miracle and the Rek'Sai as well.
So that's the one thing they did not want to happen. And the reason for that is because they want to continue to keep these towers up and available. If Ro is going to find himself that far low in the lane, because he honestly was, ooh, hey, no.
Yeah, they're just trading damage. This is what Brand does, man.
They need to play this out defensively. If they're taking unneeded damage, then it's making it a lot easier for ANX to decide to dive that tower, which is why Ro had to back. So now they've found themselves, at least they've saved the tower. They're going right back into it. And the goal is being reached. Saigon Jokers is even in these lanes.
It just feels like to me they amputated a bruise at this stage. They're trying so hard to avoid this bot lane, and everything is just going from bad to worse. Rose taking too much damage. They're not defending the tower. Celebrity can't seem to find any damage onto Smurf. He's denying him a little bit, but
it's a bad execution. I'm going to give you that. But it's not awful. It's still working for them.
Sure.
And on top of that, because of the fact that Echo is only really receiving not much farm. He has 22 to his name, but it's the same as being done to Shen. And while that's a bit beneficial to Shen, it's the trade-off is definitely worth it for Saigon Jokers because you do not want to send Ezreal and Alistar into that lane. You 100% want to avoid that matchup, and they got the early tier, which means that once they do get into the team fights phase, the utility of Echo is still going to be available to them. And on top of that, the damage coming out of the rest of the lineup is going to be that much more impactful.
Well, now we've seen Smurf actually get delegated the mid lane now and Kira down in the bot. So once again, this positions have been completely shuffled up, but Warzone actually making his way up top. Lecrit and Miracle, they need to be careful here because this could be a massive fight in the top lane.
Yeah, this is really risky, really dicey. If they can get this working, then this would be really good for Saigon Jokers.
Here comes Shen. Ultimate's in. Lecrit, he's still alive somehow. Shen gets his way on in. Can't seem to find anything. Taunts over the pool now. Miracle, he's in trouble. Only one shot left in the chamber. Gets the snare. No! Warzone sidesteps it. So first blood coming over to Saigon Jokers.
That's what they needed. They ended up taking down the Brand. And of course, here's something you don't want to beat. And that's Brand in a lane swap. Brand, oh, here we go.
Oh, no, he went for the Malefic Visions rather. Oh, he didn't have the ult. He just went for the Malefic Visions, thinking it would be enough. Hit him with a Q as well. Forces the heal out of Celebrity. Could we see the Prey Seeker?
Oh,
Stay host. He's making his way on it, and he gets it. Beautiful.
That's a bit sad, Sue. Didn't have the presence of mind to flash to save him. Because, of course, I mean, here's the thing. Celebrity could also flash that.
True.
We had a lot of flashes. They just did not expect the Prey Seeker to hit him, but you got to expect it.
Teleport's coming in for both of the top laners. Is anyone going to cancel? Looks like Ro does. So does Smurf. Everyone just cooling off after this fight. It's been a pretty intense game.
It really
These guys
is.
just need to chill down a bit, reevaluate their options.
They're just trying their hardest to keep these towers available, and this is really the risky portion that is called this meta. This meta is too damn risky. That's why if you put yourself in a lane swap position, if you if you are constantly looking to defend, you better make it work. Or else if you lose that first tower, then, man, you lose a lot of pressure. And we had a ridiculous statistic early on in the playoffs in North America where we had the first teams to take down turrets, or the first turret, meant the win for the game for that team. And that's just because you'd get that extra 700 gold on that one champion. You can really abuse your specific matchup and really take it forward going on for the rest of the game.
Oh, we're back. Nothing much happened here. Looks like Stayhost will be giving that blue buff over to Kira. He's got his own army of Voidlings to help secure that one away. But as you can see in the bot, looks like we're finally seeing the 2v2 matchup we all longed for. But Su's only level 5, so the crit definitely has the advantage over him on this one.
Yeah, one of the benefits of just getting the lanes once again is Azrael does have Sheen to his name. Meanwhile, of course, Jin's going to be a little bit more happier. He has the armor penetration item and double longsword. Ooh.
Pillar of Flame lands. Snare down in the bot lane, but Su just going to get completely destroyed.
That's why you want to get out of the lanes. That was a little bit ridiculous. He did not have a chance to move. The moment he got stunned down by Brand, just completely burned. Of course, Miracle's W.
Look at that coordination. It is so on point. The second that the Pillar of Flame would have landed, should Ezreal have not Arcane shifted out, there's the Deadly Flourish to lock him up.
Yeah.
Up in the top row. Not finding favor here anymore, so things not looking too crash hot for Saigon Jokers after a little bit of a complex start for both teams.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't want to say it's too complex. I like the idea. I really do feel like if there was a time for us to see it, that would have been it. Because the matchups were just too damn bad. But now they're back into these matchups. We got to start making it work. At least they had a very early tier start for Ezreal. So it's not as bad as it could have been.
Doing all right. Let's see if Su can actually steal away the scuttle here. No, Hanyan is forced to smite it. Kira uses her ulti down onto Warzone to try and secure that one. Not going to find it, though. Does have his Forbidden Tome. Ro taking a lot of damage. Seiho's looking for that one. Actually, the bite chunks him quite low. Goes for the Prey Seeker, not going to find it. Oh, actually found it, but didn't kill him.
Found it, yeah.
Should have taken Deathfires.
See, there we go. That's one of the...
three of them already have it. Hell, why not 4, right?
Yeah, make it a party out there. So right now, even though we found ourselves back into standard lanes, which should work out all right for Saigon Jokers.
Sure.
It's still a very strong point in the game for Albus NoX Luna, where their top lane, of course, after that gank is going to be a lot more happier. Their mid lane is in a position where they are now going to be shoving in Vladimir forever. And in the bottom lane, nothing's changed. Except for perhaps Ezreal being able to do a little bit more poke damage to the Jhin. But, you know, if you ever... Yeah. It's poke versus just deletion, so...
That's exactly right, Staios. We saw him trying to threaten that blue buff away. In the end, doesn't go for it. A lot of damage coming down to Miracle. There's the ulti being popped. Su just going to block theirs away. Not doing too much damage, but that's slowing him. May give him enough time. There's the stun. And there is the con flag. Is the damage enough? The Pyroclasm comes on and he's burning. Celebrity pops the heal. Su survives.
Yeah, that was... I can't believe it. The worst thing was that Alistair had to tank it for Celebrity because Celebrity was going to die. And then, of course, since he tanked it up, he realized Brand is going to walk in.
He's like, wait, I'm going to die now.
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, this is my future. Of course, thank God, All-Star does have 50% damage reduction from his ulti.
There's definitely no safe way to play against this lane. Miracle might be in trouble, though. Heal being used. Still has a flash available. There it is. Shen ult to boot. Gets the nice snare down. But here comes Smurf. Flashes in. Gets the snare into Hanyan. Puts down the field. Teleport being matched by Ro. Makes his way down to the 3v4. But here come the remaining members of Albus Theos. He's coming on in. Gets a nice 3-man knock-up. Gets a kill down onto Su Celebrity and Hyun on the run. Ro just gets deleted. That's the power of Malefic Visions.
This is how strong Albus NoX Luna are. They were able to take the ball, just catch what Saigon Jokers were throwing at them, and they're answering incredibly strong. Doesn't matter that you put yourselves in a better position in that lane swap. Now you come back. That was just a great roam from Albus NoX Luna as a whole. PvP Stayhost is, of course, much, much stronger now that he has that Tiamat working for him. Not only, he didn't even finish up his jungle item, he has the Tiamat and the armor boots. So he's fairly tanky, and at the same time does a lot of damage.
Yeah, those true damage bites on his E were absolutely chunking people at that stage. Licrit looking for a cheeky roam in the mid, maybe. Warzone copping a few Malefic Visions as well as the Voidling harass. Not too fond of that one, but with comes great Vlad, comes great healing. So he should have no trouble getting himself topped up after that one.
I feel like Marvel's definitely gonna ask for. You're gonna need a lawyer, buddy.
Broadcast just gets cut off immediately. Oh, look, they're going to go. They're just waiting for Hanyan to come on in here, but we know better. We know he's going to try and go for the dive in the bot. Depends on how patient Albus NoX are. It turns out they're very patient.
Oh, I mean, right now Miracle's ulti is going to be coming up rather soon. Oh, doesn't matter. Better get yourself out of that position, buddy.
Oh, look at that. The answer's immediately Miracle. He is going to go down in a heartbeat. The teleport gets cancelled. Now, Sejos may have been left out to dry. The flank is still coming through from the rest of the team. The ultimate from the Vlad pops him. Here comes Licrit. He's on the back of that one. Can't find the ulti with the Pyroclasm just yet. Kira has Nether Grasp available. Looks like they want to fight, but at the same time, they're not too sure.
Yeah, it looks like this might be the first tower. Definitely ANX want to defend this, but can they?
Oh, there's a Pyroclasm going on, and it's hitting a lot of members. The passive is proccing. Kira still alive.
Oh,
Yan is burning down Celebrity. He is quite low. Warzone flashes over, gets the transfusion. Kira gets himself to safety, but that was a very dicey fight for a 2 versus 4.
I can't believe Celebrity survived off that. He has no HP. That is a game-breaking bug, everybody. 0 HP, still alive.
Oh, no. And against that much damage, to the burning from Brand, the Deathfire's touch. Woof.
Yeah, that really took it from me. The Deathfire touch and the burning, he honestly, I felt he was dead. I actually called it there.
Yeah.
But no, he ended up surviving with just a bit of HP to him.
An absolute slither of HP at that stage. Shame that Smurf didn't have the ultimate available. That could have been a completely different fight had he actually maybe finished off that teleport.
Yeah, that was a really good response from Saigon Jokers. The tower's still alive, though, so that's all Albus NoX really wanted. They sacrificed quite a bit for it. So yeah, let's just look at it one more time. See what we got here. So yeah, Licrit and Kira really wanted to stay under this tower. The brand passive just demolishing Saigon Jokers as a whole. That was 3 procs of brand passive. That's the strength of it. Is really all you need is that one proc, and the proc of someone else having that passive creates another proc. It just snowballs.
It never ends.
Yeah. So that was fantastic. I really want to look at the end game statistics to see how much damage Licrit is really doing in these fights. Because
I can tell you right now, it's a lot.
It's a lot of damage. End game statistics, you look at that screen, and it's literally just a few words, a lot.
Kira, going to be feeling bad that his support constantly out-damaging him. He's like, hey, man, I'm the mid lane carry. He's like, no, you go and Mouse. You just press R. I'll do the damage. Don't worry about that.
You must. I feel for Kira. His position is being threatened by his own support. If Kira does poorly one game, it's like, you got to support now.
Licrit, like, you must confuse me for someone who goes tanks. No. Even on his Tarek.
It's like, we need a tank, guys. It's like, you are tank Kira.
Go brawl mid. You want to brawl? Go brawl mid, Kira. I'm going brand.
Yep. So I just like the fact that ANX takes support priority for last pick. This is a flexible team, to say the least, and they're playing incredibly well around that.
You can see Licrit making his way up the river. Kira's there as well. There's the Nether Grasp. Stun comes through. There's the brand passive. It is going to pop. Is it enough? There he goes. Burnt down by the Deathfire touch. Kira in a world of hurt right now, just being the sacrificial brand. Here comes the ulti from Jinsu. Should pop after that one. One more shot should do it. Is the burnt enough? Smurf flashes on and gets the auto, but he's going to go down. Steos late to the party, and Saigon brawling with the best of them right now.
Yeah, that seemed like a really good catch by ANX, but of course, the entirety of Saigon Jokers just collapse on top of them. So what looked like a very good pick turned out to be a 2v5 opportunity for Saigon.
Steos can't find the wave clear, so the chip damage coming in well and truly on this tower. Licrit finally here to help defend. Should just be using a nice combo to clear out those minions. Tower hasn't fallen yet, Miracle. Trying to get a push down in the bot, but that first brick gold still available, still up for the taking.
Yeah, exactly. So, the fact that we've gone in 20 minutes into the game and no towers have been taken down, you would think that this would be a very passive game. Just looking at the statistics. But far from it. Great pick from this team from ANX to really get Hanian in. A lot of burst damage, a lot of dot. Hanian had no opportunity, no chance. But of course, TP comes in. Saigon Jokers are able to stack on top of each other to be able to get the rest of the kills, which looked like a bad idea, honestly, with passives, with Brand's passive just stacking on from one person to the next. But it worked out. You're fairly tanky right now.
Alistar's ult really paying dividends there already. You can saw being hit by nearly a full combo from Brand, as well as 3 of the 4 Jin ults coming on through. Second Ocean Drake of the game spawning. ANX already have one under their name. Hyun trying to get some damage down, but not sitting on too much right now. Licorice just zoning them away with the Pillar of Flames at the moment.
One thing about Saigon Jokers that really is annoying for them, at the very least, is that they don't know if they're ever going to die, because there are so many dots coming out of Albus NoX Luna. Not only the Deathfire touch, obviously, but you got Malzahar's Ease coming through, the burn damage coming out of the crit, and from Jin. Just like, all right, doesn't matter if you took the initial burst, you're just going to get burned down.
Oh my god, that's a huge conflagulation down onto Su and Hyun. Luckily, he does have the magic resistance to keep himself safe. Steos, thanks to Celebrity, can't actually get in and finish them off. Does push them off the dragon.
Yeah, that should be Albus NoX's dragon from here on out. Hanian is way too low.
Trying to pull it out here. They don't want to risk the collateral damage steal coming on through.
The sad thing is, this Ocean Dragon actually does a lot of damage. So if they're going to go for it, then they better do it quickly, because Saigon Jokers will be healthy enough, especially with Su's healing, to take the fight.
Dude, Hanian is one spell rotation away from a bad day. Accidentally flashes the wrong way. Warzone should just burn out here. Malefic Visions actually gets a Q onto the minion. Licorice gets the kill onto Su, flashes in, gets the stun on Celebrity. Pillar of Flame, and cool guys, don't look at explosions.
Exactly. The best thing was that Ezreal just eat away as if he had something to save. Had nothing. You're dead, buddy. The best Licorice right now is grade A badass.
Yeah, he's doing a monstrous amount of damage. He's got himself that needlessly large rod already. And the makings of the Rylas Crystal Scepter. So if he gets the Burning Face after that, it's just going to be an insane amount of dot damage that, like you mentioned, Celebrity, he's going to be constantly debating, do I use my heal now, or am I going to survive this burning?
Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't know.
Yeah.
They just don't know if you're going to survive or not. And that should be the first tower down for Albus NoX Luna.
Yeah, they get a massive chunk of gold now. 22 minutes in the game, and it's been firing all cylinders all game long. 2.5 thousand gold in the lead for Albus NoX. And Kiri, saw how much damage he was able to do in just alone on the Vlad in the start of that fight.
Exactly. So, of course, Graves had to get the hell out of there. He flashed a little bit prematurely, didn't know, but of course, look at that. Get out of there, buddy. And when I say get out of there, I mean...
Go back to your fountain.
Go back to your fountain.
That's the only way you're getting out of that one, mate.
So, of course, Saigon Jokers are going to be able to answer that. Albus NoX were all back in base, and not all of them were back in base.
Ezreal is actually going to spot this one out as well as the Trinket. Only people able to answer will be Warzone and Ro. Ro, he's got his sight set onto Licorice. Seo's doing a good job of CCing him up. Warzone is here now. Protobelt comes on in, trying to get the damage. Ro just batting him to pieces. A good stun comes out from Licorice. There is the Pyroclasm. Only going to bounce twice.
Yeah, he's trying to get the extra passive damage coming off. So right now, Ro is not very healthy. Cannot defend this tower. Or at least look to attack. But with that being said, Saigon Jokers got mid tower.
Well, they punish the attempted Baron sneaky steal here and get themselves that mid lane tower. Starting to do a little bit of chip damage on the tier 2. Kira finally back to defend it.
Best thing about Graves right now is how much damage he can do to towers. So you have to watch out, especially since he can just decide randomly to look for the sieges.
You got the split push Brand in effect, I guess, up at the top lane. Oh, there's a ghost pop for Warzone. Flashes
Oh.
on over. Is in onto Kira. Does get stunned up by the Nethergrass in the pool. Miracle looking for a way in on this fight. Su gets a 3-man knock-up. Row gets the stun in the back on Miracle. Brand not in the fight just yet. He's running from base. Warzone gets the first one onto Kira. Dies in the process. Su gets stunned up. Smurf looking for something. Can't find it. There is a curtain call. Who's it on? Su. He's still alive somehow. Row uses the ult. Nearly gets his teammates killed in the midst of that one. 1-for-1 mid laner for mid laner.
Yeah, they went to trade. That was really aggressive from Warzone, but Celebrity was untouched. He was fairly healthy, so he could continue to chase and deal as much damage as possible since he is Ezreal. So right now he's doing really well for himself. He's just 1, 2, and 4. Very humble, not really doing all too much in terms of statistics. So, but he's got his 2-item spike, got his Iron Fist, and on top of that, he's got his Muramana.
Look, but here's the unfortunate thing I find about Saigon Jokers. This seems the storyline of every single game they play. They always keep up. They're always so close, but something goes wrong.
Yeah.
The chink in the armor shows, and the arrow hits them in the heart, and they just bleed out slowly but surely.
You know what it is? It's usually what gives them their advantages. Saigon Jokers are a team that they can get advantage off the fact of their skirmishes that they take randomly. So teams are unsure of when it comes, how to really take it. But as the game goes on, that's their way to close out a game, and so that's usually what is their fall, how they fall in the game. He couldn't even take that pink. Another pink was placed to really replace it, so he didn't even get the gold.
Gold denial.
Yeah.
Denying in League of Legends 2016.
So look at this one. This was interesting from Warzone. Could have just gotten burst out because, of course, everything was blown here for Albus NoX, but that was an amazing headbutt pulverized from Su. That was a really good flank by everybody in general, but of course Warzone had to sacrifice his life for it. They was really risky because every single person on Saigon Jokers were fairly low. But look at this. Row, boom. You shouldn't do that, buddy.
They would have been so screwed if Su dies there because it would have spawned a captive audience, slowing the entire team, allowing Brand and PvP to catch on up and that would decimate them.
That would just be an amazing highlight experience to see him basically kill his own teammate by just ulting, so he's invulnerable. Bullet goes right through him, kills Alistar.
It's a new era of when you're playing Vlad and the Caitlyn ult's coming behind you to hit one of your teammates and you stand in front and pull immediately, get your teammate killed. Yeah,
I love that. I love
new era of BMing.
This is why I love Fizz. You want to if someone's been harassing you the entire day, or if you're just feeling especially trolly.
He's a trickster, right? He's all about playing tricky.
Yeah, trick your own team. You're going for this fight though.
Warzone uses a dash cannon, goes on in. Kira tries to get the ulti down. A lot of damage coming out. There's a curtain call. Brand. He's expended most of his damage already, but it is only onto Su. He should pop after that one. Pillar of Flame gets the kill. Celebrity trying to find their Qs. They are going to go quite low. Hyun and Warzone forced to use their offensive abilities on the retreat.
Once again, that was not a fight Saigon Jokers wanted to take, but they took it anyways. And a perfect play from Albus NoX to counter-engage on that, really take away the damage that was coming out. I really do want to see that play once more. Ooh.
Kira just gets destroyed, but they will be getting the Dragon for it. And I respect what you said, Raz, that there's a fight that Saigon Jokers don't want to take, but I don't think that's in their playbook. I don't think there is a fight that they ever don't want to take. These guys want to fight, and they want to fight now.
For those people who watch football, and when I say football, I mean the American brand, there's a nice playbook coaches go through. It's like, hey, this is a nice playbook. We'll pass it over to the receiver. For Saigon Jokers, there's only one play in that playbook.
Only one play.
That's the Hail Mary. They're going for the Hail Mary every single time.
Boot it down mid. That's how they like to play, and they're doing just that. 5 strong, pushing it down the mid lane. They want to get that mid lane tier 2. They will, but that's 3 Ocean Drakes on the side of ANX. That means that any downtime that they have after a small skirmish, and who doesn't love a small skirmish like Saigon Jokers, right? They will be able to reset out of that one.
Did he just TP? He thought he was being...
Yeah.
Okay, so this is beautiful. So he actually thought that he was in a bad position, decided to go for that nice... what was it again?
I'm a Shen, get me out of here?
Yeah, but there's a player in EU that does this quite frequently, and I can't...
You got some downtime.
I'm so sad. I'm just stuck trying to figure out who it is.
It's not been a good day for names for you, has it, Raz?
SOAS.
SOAS?
Yeah, I'm just bad
just
at names.
an amateur player hasn't made his mark on League of Legends history, has he, Raz? He can easily be forgotten, right?
It was like, who's that one amazing mid laner? Oh, Faker.
That's the one.
So Soaz does that a lot. And I just wanted to make it a small point, but it just comes to a larger point of me not remembering anything.
Look, Saigon, they're keeping this game quite competitive. 30 minutes in the game, only 1,000 gold separates these two teams. Saigon actually had the tower advantage after running it down mid post-skirmish here. Warzone might be in trouble. Look, there's Lacrit. Can't seem to find the CC. Warzone quite low, though, forced to use that Sanguine pool. Get himself to safety. That's
usually the go sign. If you end up using Sanguine Pool that early because you find yourself in a bad position, of course, that's a go sign for a fight. They didn't get the stun, obviously. Lacrit wasn't in position, didn't get to see it happen. Saigon Jokers going for this one tower.
Smurf doesn't have teleport, but he does have Stand United, and Lacrit has the wave clear there if he can do it. Good damage from Celebrity, weaving those Qs through the minions.
Even gets the fade away from Hanyan, the fade away auto attack on that turret. So they're actually just consistently looking to siege up.
ANX may want to fight here, Stayhost. He's got himself that completed Lock of the Iron Solari as well as the Titanic Hydra, so he's got that aura magic resistance that can deal a little bit with Warzone and Row.
Yeah, they're trying to see if they can slowly pierce and try and find a way to poke through Albus NoX's front line. PvP Stayhost is incredibly strong. They're going to continue to go for this while Echo holds down Shen.
The main issue is any poke that they do is instantly going to get healed up if they choose to go out of combat for too long due to that triple Ocean Drake threat. And look at the damage onto Celebrity. He does actually get hit by the combo, but here comes Sue. He's got his sight set onto Lacrit. He just gets obliterated by the Ezreal ult. That calls for the retreat. ANX, they have to run away from this one. Row, he's teleported his way on up. Shen, use the ulti, and with no TP, has to walk it on up.
Yeah, and so, of course, this Jhin ulti is going to be looking to push them away entirely. Kira wasn't in position, was in the mid lane. So they couldn't really rely on a counter dive to push them off. Lacrit does a lot of damage. Miracle does a lot of damage, but they can't really hold off an Alistar all-in engage. And Celebrity right now is dealing a ton without ever having to commit to any fight. So right now, Albus NoX needs to be in the right place at the right time to defend these turrets. They can do it. It's just not working out well for them.
This game is so damn even. Look at the gold, completely identical. A few hundred and change, even less than that, actually. 31 minutes in the game, 10 kills to 9 in favor of Albus NoX, but really they're kind of struggling here. They're falling flat. Saigon, they've identified the main issue, and it's Lacrit. You kill this guy, you win the game.
Yeah, exactly. And in the beginning of the broadcast, I did mention that one of the dark horses is definitely Saigon Jokers. They may be a bottom-of-the-barrel team, but they don't look like it. They really don't.
That's a great way to put it, and I feel like one of their game plans right now, besides from fight, is they pick Brand, we kill Brand, we win.
That's their game plan.
Oh, Rowe might be in trouble. He's just going to get bursted down before the ulti even comes out. That's CC on CC. Now Miracle being the main focal point for the Saigon Jokers team. A great knock-up, but Sue gets Warzone to safety for now, gets stunned up. Here comes Smurf over the wall. They really need to kill Warzone before he gets another reset on his Sanguine Pool. He goes down. Sue, the next one to follow, and it all comes off on the back of a great catch by Malzahar.
Yeah, so not only that, what are you doing? Your Row's down 100%. That's a free pick for Albus NoX, but there's no reason to go in. But Warzone sees everything as a war zone. So he just goes in fighting even though they've lost their major and only tank in their team. So right now, this should be a very easy Baron for ANX.
It's all on Hanyan right now. He has to go for the steal. Flashes over. Can't find it. Great to cue Akira. He's quite low. There's a Shen ulti. Basically half his health bar at this stage. The only one left alive is Celebrity. He's going to have to watch as a big Baron Nashor gives over his buff unwillingly to Albus NoX.
Yeah, so now this is going to be the major turning point. Okay, maybe? No.
There's no way they have increased recall from the Baron.
I've seen a few YouTube highlight reels where you just...
So is Celebrity, apparently.
Yeah, apparently.
Looking to make some of his own.
Trying to see if he can get them healing, catch them off guard, find them at 100% HP and be like that. You know what? I don't know what I expected.
That's it. Maybe trying to go for a blue steal here, but Hanyan wasn't successful in the steal, and neither is going to be Celebrity. Dragon spawning, 10 seconds, but Saigon Jokers, after losing a key fight, the gold was dead even. Now they're down about 3.5k, so they're going to have to pick their fights a little bit more carefully.
Yeah, exactly. And it feels like, as you said much earlier on, that they can't really look for much poke siege because poke is fairly ineffective against ANX. As you said, they have three
They got
Ocean
3
Dragons.
It's insane.
So we're in a position where that's not a win condition anymore. They have to take out a team fight. They need to go all in on their engage. Su needs to jump in, fight them, but that fight has to happen at a proper time. And so far, whenever they get picked, they try a little too hard to then go for the
Speaking of getting picked, Celebrity just gets completely obliterated. Ooh, Hanyan takes about 600 crit on the end of that one. Row trying to get in on the fight. He's dead. Warzone soon to follow. Kira should have no trouble, but Miracle on point with the stuns. And Celebrity, you saw what was going on and you just let it happen. Hyun has to use the ulti defensively to get to safety, but now barreling down the mid lane, it's ANX's turn to go for the Hail Marys.
So the camera didn't get to catch it because it was really focused on the fact that Hanyan was getting completely zoned out and almost died to the Jhin ulti. Meanwhile, Malzahar, Kira did get a pick off of Warzone, was able to get him down with his ulti, and so then, of course, Ro tried to help him, and they just both ended up dying off of it.
Look, they might be going for the win here. Su, he's got to try and stop him. They have the AoE with Hanyan to kill some of these minions, but Su, he gets completely obliterated, ulti or not. He is going to go down. There's the Malefic Visions to get the kill. The second Nexus tower goes down. The Nexus soon to follow, and once again, Saigon Jokers fall victim to the same old thing. They look so damn competitive all game long that one bad fight turns the tide, and Albus NoX are your champions.
Yeah, so one of these days they'll have they'll just win out through those side engages, perhaps once they face Chaos Light Gaming. But overall, we've seen a very smart and very different side of Saigon Jokers. Not very different. Slightly different. Their lane swap was actually really well played on their part. There were a few hiccups in terms of Celebrities, how he was dealing with the Shen, and
Kira was doing the zombie brand walk over there.
My God.
I love it. They really love this brand.
I mean,
and he's not even the one playing it.
Hey, man, pick it, they win.
That's it. And you got to give massive props, of course, to Saigon Jokers. They came in with a very solid game plan in this early game. The execution was a little bit lackluster, but it still allowed them not to get completely obliterated in lane. And when they actually got to that standard laning phase, you saw how much damage the Jhin brand combo can output. So they did a great job of avoiding just going like 0-5 or something.
Well, exactly. The moment they actually matched up in the lanes and Alistar got stunned, he just got completely demolished. And so this was a really good pick for Saigon Jokers. Perhaps they could have gotten more. In fact, Smurf living, or at least Licrit living with just 1 HP for so long allowed Smurf to really join up in that. So Miracle would have been a bigger pick on that one. So
look, Saigon, they picked so many good fights and a lot of bad ones too, to be fair. And Su, he did a great job on this Alistar, constantly knocking Malzahar out of his ulti, getting 3 to 4 man knockups. But in the end, Licrit, his CC chain, his AoE was just too much to handle, and it's so difficult because you're constantly getting slowed by the curtain call, and the second that Licrit can get in range, there's 30% of your health, you're stunned for 2 seconds, you've got your burn damage, and what do you know, there's a 4th shot of Jhin coming for you.
And it's an incredible snowball pick. The moment they snowball off of that 1 kill, look at this, Ro went down, but why is Warzone going in? You completely lost your tank in this scenario. And so he has to Zhonya's up and he loses out. The rest of his team comes in, but of course, they know they can't pick this fight. So the moment they pick it up anyways, it's like, wait a minute, I guess we're all just dead now.
Yeah,
so
Gray's trying to go for ult damage there. Not even him. This is the game-winning fight here, Celebrity.
But look at Vladimir here. Yeah. He got completely stunned down by Kira, so while Hanyan couldn't join up, they just died out.
It was looking very grim, but Celebrity shouldn't have been there. Look at the damage from Miracle coming out just on the W alone. Ending the game on an impressive 4-1-8. Pretty much all of them having great score lines here.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just a great snowballing effect. It was back and forth, really. But the moment Albus NoX got control of the game, they were able to just walk forward. And there was no way for Saigon Jokers to really stop them.
No, and it is unfortunate because we've seen this time and time again when we're casting, we're watching, we're cheering for the Saigon Jokers, is they're always competitive. They're always up there in the terms of skill level, coordination, maybe not execution, but the aggression. It's just too unwarranted. It gets them where they need to be, but then they need to realize that that part of the game is over.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? I was cheering for the play. I was cheering for the this lane swap working. I wasn't cheering for Saigon Jokers. That would mean I would be biased. Yeah. Definitely not biased. I wouldn't be that. But exactly, I thought that they had a very smart play coming up from them, and it just didn't work out.
Look, and is it hard to go past Licrit's brand on the MVP, going 6, 3, and 10, constantly hitting those massive pyroclasms to proc the passive? And he said, when one passive procs, proc, the whole
literally
team just dies. They just explode. Hopefully we can somewhere find out exactly how much damage he did in that game, because I'm sure it was off the charts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be searching for it. If I don't find it, then I'll be the saddest day of my life. I'm just going to go to bed tonight just like dreaming of possibilities. It's like, did he do 20,000 damage? How much damage did he do?
Dude, wait, I reckon it would be in the hundreds.
Hundreds or hundreds of thousands? Because now that
hundreds of millions, Raz. Why not?
Millions.
Just
go home with that mindset, with that idea, because that really he probably did more damage than Malzahar. That's what it.
Oh,
was.
Definitely. Malzahar was all about just locking them down in place. Like we mentioned, we had a little bit of a joke about how if Kira is saying, "Hey, we need some CC, we need some frontline," Licrit says, "All right, pick something with frontline, pick something with CC. I'm going brand. I'm going the carry."
Yeah, so that's one standout point. But of course, you gotta have to refocus on the lane swap, because that's gonna be really impactful for the future of the meta in terms of really how people are going to take this game. Because usually people go into it thinking, hey, you know what? Standard lanes only. Lane swaps don't exist. That's exactly what 6.15 does. But really, that opportunity is present where you can actually lane swap if you do not like that matchup. There's no reason for you to take the matchup. All you have to do is look to defend those towers that do exist. Sure, your top laner, because of how the jungle experience works, will not be taking much at all. He's going to be still level 1. So off the first wave, really, that's when you're going to be level 2. Or maybe even they'll try and find a way to divvy up experience in the jungle to really allow that level 2 pickup for the top laner. Meanwhile, perhaps level 2 for the jungler. Because if it remains the same way where jungle gets the last hit on every major objective or camp, then he's going to come out as level 3. Top laner is going to be level 1. It's going to be easier to dive that composition. But of course, if you have Alistar, that's just going to be a null point, because you're going to end up having to defend most dives coming in on you. And if you can do that, then the tower gold is irrelevant. And all that remains is that you get yourself out of that matchup and you still keep up even in CS between both teams.
It sounds like a very excellent strategy that some teams might look to utilize, especially against a very strong, essentially, kill lane here. But of course, looking at the other side of the table, when you're going into that lane, so what is the correct reaction and decisions to make there? Because a lot of these guys, they've been playing standard lanes for the last few patches, last few scrims, last few games, or whatever. Yeah. How do they go into this? What are the correct decisions to make here, Raz?
Well, I think that the correct decision was made from Albus NoX. They looked for the dive. The moment the dive didn't really seem possible, then they tried to get as much they could off of it. Either the dragon, which they did get the dragon, or they looked to swap up and try to create pressure on that Ezreal. I think the Ezreal was actually under a lot of pressure 1v1, and it could have been 2v1 with that jungle matchup. I actually felt like Saigon Jokers didn't do it well enough, where they ended up having Graves dual lane in the bottom lane and putting Alistar topside, which meant that, yeah, sure, that's great for Ezreal. He gets Alistar support. He should be getting the Graves support in just like taking the camp surrounding Ezreal, because then he would have been left to his own. It would have worked out. Echo and the top lane would have been safe. But at the end of the day, what ended up happening was Graves shared experience. He didn't get to take camps. So then what ended up happening was the jungle camps were up and alive, and Hanyan didn't work it out well for himself.
Look, it did look quite bad for them. They played it quite well, but of course we do have Hingers standing by with one of the members of Albus NoX, one of the victors.
Thanks very much, guys. I'm joined again by Licrit, who has picked up his second win for today. How do you feel after that game? It looked like it was kind of close for a long while, but then you pulled away at the end.
Well, the thing is that it was alright all the game. When used, they tried to make it to the late, expecting Brand to be useless in the late game. But, well, it's actually not. It's the best scaling support in game now, after maybe Bard or something like that. So they tried a good strat. They failed. Next time will be better.
So now you are kind of second in the table. You must be feeling confident going into the semi-finals, because you're almost guaranteed a spot there. But of your last two opponents you've got to face, you've still got to play Lion And Ints, who do you think is the stronger opponent?
Well, these teams are really different because Ints are all about macro play and well-prepared strategies, and Lion is all about stomping you on lane fires like 10 times, 20 times, 30 times until you just die and say, okay, I won't play versus these guys. Well, it's more comfortable for us to play versus Lions because we know how to play versus them, and Ints are our old rivals, so we are well prepared. But you never underestimate Brazilian region. You never do this.
All right. Finally, for all your fans watching out there, either on the English stream or in Russian, do you have a message for them? Because you've come all this way and now you're heading to semis.
Well, I got 2 messages for my English fans and for Russian ones. Okay, for English guys. Okay, I'm really excited that you actually know who I am. Thanks for rooting for us. It's really amazing for me. Thank you, guys. And for Russian fans, извините, ребята, я играл не так хорошо, как вам могло показаться, что я должен, но я приложу все усилия для того, чтобы стать лучше.
All right, I have no idea what you just said because I don't speak Russian, but thank you so much for speaking to us, and I'll throw it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you so much, Hingers. I love Licrit's interviews. He's got such a great way of talking about their game and just essentially breaking it down on such an honest level. When we verse Lions, they're just going to keep smashing one lane until it eventually breaks, but we know how to play against it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. And the best part about that was just his confidence with the brand. Is like, oh, you think that late game it's not going to be good? Well,
it's the best.
It's the best. They're so sold on brand as a support, and it's always working. So really, it just comes down to one team proving them wrong or proving them right and just banning it out.
Look, it got banned out for them quite frequently throughout, and like you said, it's either they respect it or they don't respect it, and it ends up biting them, or they waste 2 bans on the brand and the Bard and just give them even more powerful champions over. But congratulations once again to Albus NoX. That's 2 victories today for them, so they've got to be feeling really good about coming into tomorrow.
Exactly. So as Michael Hingesing said, was that they should feel pretty confident going into the at least that they've qualified into playoffs. So solid play from them overall, really consistent, and of course we want to see how it works out in the next coming days.
Okay, and if you missed out any of the games, we got you guys covered. We're going to go over the results. Earlier on today, we saw Rampage taking their 2nd victory of the tournament over KMV. Nope, we're back. And then Chiefs, unfortunately, got taken down by Lion Gaming. Unfortunately for us, great for all the Lion Gaming fans out there. And I think the vote was like 94% to something abysmal like that. So I'm sure they're very happy about that one. But we said Albus NoX Luna, a very convincing win over KMV. INTZ taking out Dark Passage. They couldn't get their Fiora and they couldn't get a win. And then the best game of the day, in my opinion, because it was so damn close, so damn competitive, and just so damn entertaining, Raz, was Albus NoX Luna with a hard slugging fight, taking it out over Saigon Jokers.
Yeah, exactly. And Saigon Jokers are a team that will always bring a fight. So it'll always be entertaining to watch. You never really know how it's going to turn out. Even though the same result comes through, they always come out with something interesting. But it's more of the same.
Look, it's just been so close, and of course we're going to have a look at our standings right now to see where everyone racks up on the ladder boards, and look at Lion, 5-0, top of the table, the king of the jungle, for some reason still considering themselves the underdog, when of course they are quite right now a majestic Lion, but ANX sitting on 4-1, their only loss being to that Dark Passage backdoor, so look for them to have some great games coming up against Lion Gaming. Then you got INTZ, Chiefs, and Dark Passage sitting on 3-2 right now. Rampage picking up their 2nd win of the tournament today, 2-3 on that 6th spot, and unfortunately for Saigon Jokers fans and KMV fans, yet to pick up a win, sitting in 7th and 8th respectively.
Yeah, so of course you guys have to remember that anything can happen, and on top of that, there could be tiebreakers as well. So you see that the 4th place is being contested between Dark Passage, Chiefs, and INTZ. Anything can happen. All of them are showing really well, showing up pretty well. So, never know.
Look, and it's been an absolutely action-packed day today, but guess what? We've got more action for you guys tomorrow. We're going to have a look at tomorrow's schedules. We got Lion Gaming taking on Rampage, then Ints versus Albus NoX Luna. That is going to be an absolute insane game. You heard Licrit on the interview. He said he's prepared for them. He knows they're their old-time rivals, so look for that one. Mark that in your calendars, guys. Wake up at 7 a.m. if you're from Oceania for that one. Then, of course, we've got KMV taking on the Saigon Jokers. Both teams finally going to get themselves a win here, so someone's coming away with a win after that one. Then Dark Passage will be taking on Chiefs Esports Club. Then to round out the evening, it will be Saigon Jokers and INTZ taking it for the Rift for their final game of tomorrow's games.
Yeah, that's got to be the most difficult day for INTZ. Got to go up against Albus NoX and Saigon Jokers, even though that should be the easiest one on paper. It's not going to be very easy to at least go up against Saigon Jokers, especially today when we saw that interesting lane swap.
Look, I'm seriously disappointed that Saigon Jokers have yet to pick up a win because they've been playing so damn well, constantly keeping every single game competitive, pushing them to their limits, showing that they actually can run with the top 4 contenders. But unfortunately, each time they do fall flat, and it's just unfortunate to say the least.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you can do well in the laning phase. That's all well and good, but it comes down to how you play out in the mid game and the late game. And if the only strategies available to you is just constantly looking for team fights and overall skirmishes, then you will get outmatched.
Alrighty, guys, that does it for us. It's been an absolute pleasure to have day 4. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time.